Welcome back to Open Line. It's our last segment for you to get your questions answered from Dr. Alex Jahangir from the Metro Coronavirus Task Force. So I'm going to get right to it. We have Kaylee on the line. Kaylee, it's your turn. What's your question tonight?
Hi, yes. So there's something that I've noticed hasn't had much attention. It's the spouses of those of us that are immunocompromised. I have multiple sclerosis, and I also get an infusion once a month that further weakens my immune system. And my husband, he is considered an essential worker at a factory. And, you know, it's terrifying because he's going to work every day around so many people. You know, they can't work 6 feet apart. And it's just, what are some extra steps we could take? Because honestly, you know, it's scary.
Sure. Doctor, you have any advice for Kaylee and her husband?
Yeah. I definitely can understand how that is a scary situation. You know, in short, for your husband's side, I mean, going to work, you know, possibly consider an N95 mask, really. So what I'll do, and again, my wife is not immune compromised, but when I come home, I change all my clothes right away. I change different clothes when I get to work. I shower. But then on top of that, as much as I think this is hard, I think as much as one can socially isolate from their spouse, which is almost impossible, and I get that. If that's possible, I do that. I just wish I had a better answer for you than that. I very much understand. But perhaps around the time, especially when you get your infusions, it may be a good time for maybe you guys sleep in different rooms and really keep apart from each other during the time frame during that time. But I wish I had a more direct answer than that.
Yeah, that is a very tough situation. Kaylee, thank you for your call tonight, and best of luck to you. Okay, let's get to Lori. Lori, thank you for your call tonight. What's your question? Lori, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I didn't hear you say my name.
That's okay.
My question for the doctor is, my daughter is 36 years old, and she is a healthcare worker at one of our hospitals. Anyway, she was informed by her, I forget what kind of doctor he is, they've got to go in and take a hernia out of her, and it's got something to do with her small and large intestines and all this other stuff. Anyway, he called her and told her that we can't wait until all this is over. We got to do it now. And I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. I mean, she has a 5-year-old child, and I don't know. It's got my nerves tore all to pieces.
Sure.
And I'm a heart patient, so.
Well, let's talk about that because, you know, Lori, I don't think you're alone in this. I think a lot of folks are even scared to go to the ER right now. We've seen folks who should be going to the ER who are too scared to do so. We've reported on that. What's your advice to Lori when it comes to her daughter and for others who do need medical attention right now?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to know that the hospitals, I understand your fear and your concern, and they're valid. I do think that hospitals especially are very vigilant about protocols to follow for elective surgery as we start opening up elective surgery later this week. I know a lot of hospitals will have a protocol on who they may test before surgery. You obviously, the great thing your daughter has going for her, she's young and I'm assuming healthy. Try to get in and out of the hospital as quickly as possible, but please don't delay medical care longer than it needs to be. I mean, what's interesting is there's less heart attacks now, and I think you and I both know that the heart attacks are probably happening, but people aren't going in and they're dying at home. So I understand your fear. I can just tell you that as somebody who works in the hospital system, just you got to have some confidence in the system, but please don't delay something that could be taken care of easily today, later when it could be a much worse issue.
Good word there. Thank you. Reverend Paz is probably going to be our last call of the night here. Reverend, thank you for being with us. We're running against the clock, but what's your question tonight?
Okay, I'm running against the clock. You should have took me earlier. I got 30 minutes of notes, but here's my main question.
Okay.
Why everyone is talking about a vaccine? What about a cure? I mean, if I get the flu, if I get sick, it's okay as long as I can be cured. And I'm not hearing anyone talk about cure. This is really hard, Dr. J. with, our church been closed 2 months, and now you're telling me we got to close another whole month. That's going to be very difficult emotionally to our members. We did a poll to suspend services, and it was 50-50. I asked, should we suspend services? The poll was 50-50. So
wow.
I've never been under this much pressure. But what about a cure? Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Reverend Paz, for calling in.
Reverend, thank you. In short, you're right. We didn't talk about it, but there are a lot of people working on there's a lot of clinical studies going on here in Nashville that I'm aware of and around the country to find exactly like you said. So you do get sick, at least we can maybe make the impact not as significant. And there are a lot of clinical trials and I think some positives. Now, and also I'm very sensitive to what you're saying is this is a hard time for people, and people need to have their emotional support and their spiritual support with them. And so just, I hear you. I know the mayor hears you, and more to come, but I understand what you're saying, and that the support system is so important this time right now.
It really is.
So, and you about that.
Doctor, we have about 30 seconds left. I know we'll see you tomorrow morning as part of the mayor's press conference, but what is your message to folks who are watching tonight about the next step, especially for Davidson County?
So my message is this. First of all, thank you. I think we have all really been in this together, and it's led us to have low fatalities and not as bad cases that I think some of the models are showing. And my last thing is please just stick this out with us. We can get through this together. I hear the concerns about we want to get back to opening and everything and go back to normal.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. But let's just stay the course and stay healthy.
Doctor, thank you for being with us and your expert advice. We appreciate it. You did a great job. And we'll come right back.
Okay, thank you so much.